What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Deadly Deck devlog number 30. Wow. Achievement unlocked for me to be consistent, to have done this now for multiple weeks. I think I started this whole thing in mid-February, and here we are. It's April 1st. I've done 30 of these. Wow. I've been going back actually and updating some of the descriptions, trying to put some chapter markers in and updating some of the thumbnails, which actually seems like it's pretty much working. So if you're here because you clicked on one of the thumbnails, thanks so much, because when I was starting out to do these, I just kept using the same thumbnail over and over again because I thought that would work. And if you're here, thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe too. I am building this community, building this game. This isn't going to be like other game design streams that you may watch where, you know, they're trying to just get it done as fast as possible and they're trying to make progress every day and all this kind of stuff. I'm really taking my time with this game. I want to create a system that lasts. I'm not trying to make a game that people just play once and go, oh, that was clever, that was cute, cool, let me go download something else. I'm trying to build something that inspires people, gets people's brains moving, and gets them to play something that they feel like they have not really played before. Not to be like unique or different, but just to really explore the ideas of, can I make games that people don't expect to play? You know, they're like, oh, this looks like a dungeon crawler, and then they play it, and maybe it feels like a really good book, you know? Not like a, you know, something you play and you just throw out. Oh, cool, that was fun for a day, or that was fun for a week. I feel like that's missing right now in our games culture. And not to say that I want to create some game that just lasts forever, but something that people could just feel like is a really wonderful place to spend time in. Shigeru Miyamoto actually said this. I was watching a YouTube video one day about Super Mario World, which I actually only played recently. I had actually never played that game before. I mean, I played like levels at friends' houses and stuff, but I never like really played it, you know? And so he was saying that when they design a Super Mario game, they try to create, or at least in those old times back in the 90s and late 80s when they were making the original Mario games, that they were saying, he was saying he wanted to create a place where people would want to come back and visit. That was his goal, right? And you can feel that. I mean, look at the Super Mario Brothers movie, Galaxy, just came out today. I mean, it's a testament to that kind of design thinking, where instead of thinking, oh, I'm going to make a game where players are spending money and buying aesthetics and blah, 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 right? Instead, they really focused, or he particularly really focused on this idea that, like, no, let me just make a place where people want to come back to because it feels like their friends are there, or their funny, you know, enemies that they love to see, the Koopas and all this kind of stuff. And really it works. And so, you know, is this game on the level of Super Mario Brothers? I mean, one could hope. If that's a compliment someone wants to throw my way, I will not turn away. But, you know, those are high hopes. And so all I can do as a designer is try and follow in the footsteps, learn from the greats, and try to apply it to my own projects, right? And so that's kind of what I've been doing with Deadly Decks. So if you're here, thank you so much. And there's a Discord link in the description too. You can hop on into the community and spend time there. I feel like, I gotta fix my lighting here. It's interesting. I feel like my lighting is like all over the place. Just give me 1 second, guys. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's see if we can fix it. Just feels like too intense. Like, do I really look like that right now? Like, I don't feel like that's what I saw when I look in the mirror. So it feels like maybe we can fix some of this. Just give me 1 second, guys. Let's see. Can we do a lighting fix? Light check 1, light check 2. That's a little better. Yeah, maybe the lights were too low. I don't know. Is that, oh, I'm looking at the delayed stream. That's funny. Okay, let's try this. Let's try this. Oh, I see. It's because the window on the side, maybe. All right, well, you know what? We do what we can do. All right, let me go just drop the link for everybody. So if anybody wants to hop in here from the Discord, they know that we are live and hopping and popping and making some dungeon decks, some deadly decks. I know I say this every single stream, but I really hope someday I can get AI to just post these things for me, because it's a lot of work to post these every single time. But you know what? It's been working, so I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain. It's been working. Wow, Deadly Decks Devlog number 30. Okay, let's jump into it, guys. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. I have some really exciting ideas to explore today. I just cannot wait to start digging into this. As you guys know, yesterday was really all about trying to figure out even who Cottonmouth could be in the game. And so as much as, you know, game design feels like you're going to jump in and make game mechanics and you're going to like, oh, and then you really, great games take time and they have to have rules in place before you even make the cool stuff so that it is cool stuff. You know what I mean? And so with Cottonmouth, one of the things that I found out yesterday was that, you know, I think Cottonmouth, based on this spell, this vial of acid spell that they have, that really it's going to be about poison. And now this token wasn't in the game yesterday when I started the stream, but it is now. So this is a Cottonmouth exclusive, although I'm sure we'll use poison for a whole bunch of other things. But Cottonmouth definitely is the first hero to kind of use poison. And so yesterday was really revolving around this whole idea of like, what exactly could poison do? Like, there are other status effects in the game, like things can be on fire, things can bleed, things can be vulnerable, things can be hexed or cursed, which means they do less damage. And so really was kind of trying to figure out like, well, where is poison going to fit in? And I think I have a solution. I was trying to think of like poison as being some like super unique token that does something really special, like, you know, the amount of damage tokens you have is how many poison it does, or this or that. And you know what, yesterday what I really came down to is that poison will do damage based on the number of tokens each turn. So this spider will take 1 damage at the end of the turn. But it also is particularly useful because it negates armor on creatures. And this will be very useful. Let me see if we can find a card that has it. There's only one card in the game that has armor on it. And I don't even know if it's in here. Oh, there it is. There it is. Come here, guy. Come on down. Deranged guard. Let's take a look at ya. Okay, so here we have the deranged guard. And if you notice here on the spider, they just have 3 health, but the deranged guard has 6 health plus this little shield, which I don't know if that's going to be the final UI. We're not trying to commit to anything yet. We're really just working on the mechanics, making sure the game is fun. But this basically means that if anyone attacks, like if Rowan did an attack with the crossbow here, and let's say he rolled a 2, which is 2 damage, that means that he would do 1 damage because there's 1 shield here, which deducts 1 point. So here's what I was thinking. Hey, oh my gosh, we have a blush soft on the channel. What? That's wild. What is up, blush? And Creepersaur is here. We got the OG crew. I love this. Wow. Yeah, long time no see, Blush. Thanks for stopping by. How have you been? Yeah, baby, we're back, Blush. We're back. We're back on YouTube. I love being here on YouTube. It's a totally different vibe, and I feel like it is my vibe. Oh, wow, you said you're trying to pop in? Maybe I should put that on. You thought they were YouTube videos. That's so funny. I wonder if other people think that too. Yeah, that's so great. Well, thank you for stopping by. This is Deadly Decks, Blush. This is a card game that I've been designing for like a year and a half now. And it's got a long checkered story of how we first started. It was supposed to be just 52 cards or 50 cards. And like, just a small little dungeon crawler, and we took it for people to play it, and they loved it so much. They said the only problem was there weren't enough cards. So now there's like over 200 cards. This is not a little 50 card game anymore. It's a solo play dungeon crawl game where you kind of travel through and you fight creatures and you make choices. You get to pick 3 out of 10 heroes. And right now where we're at with this 30th devlog is these are all the heroes that I've basically done. We have 2 left that still need to be designed. And then right now we're working on this hero, a sorcerer named Cottonmouth. Yeah, Blush, thanks. Blush said that look cool. Creeper sword, right? Oh my God, Blush. Wow. Blush, also, what have you been up to? Are you still making YouTube builds? YouTube builds. Are you still making Roblox builds? God bless, your builds were like unreal. Or maybe they still are. I know Creeper Sword, and I think everyone's been here except for Wombat, actually. Wow, Blush is in uni? Oh my gosh. Wow, time, yo. Time is a crazy drug. That's amazing. What are you going to uni for? Do you know yet? Like architecture or architectural design? Okay, so let's get back to Cottonmouth here. So Cottonmouth engineering, of course, Blush. Oh my gosh, wow, brilliant. That's so cool. Are you still doing Roblox builds? Or no, not anymore. Wild. I love the OG Curtis Wow stream community is coming back to life again. Oh yeah, you said you tried to start up the Roblox stuff again, but you don't think it's your thing anymore, like the platform. I feel you. Have you tried adding gambling to the SMP? We should have made casinos. That would have been a funny turn for the SMP. Curtis Wow stream turns into just a complete casino. I feel you on that, Blush. I'm still making some stuff on Roblox, but I can't say that it's a good feeling when I'm making stuff on there, like just based on like what I know of the company now and how they react and what they do and stuff. It's real sad in a way, because it should be like a no-brainer that this is like a great place and that the people in charge of it are making it like a really safe and wonderful place. But you know, money, good old money. Money is a hell of a drug. Yeah, you don't get a good vibe from Roblox anymore. Oh my gosh, Fanta, yeah. When did you switch away from Twitch? I mean, it was just recently. I just started these streams. I think the first one was February 13th. Is it February 13th or something, or like 18th? So this is my 30th one. I do one a day. I usually hop on like every single day at this time. Just for me, it's 11 a.m. Eastern time. I don't know what time zone you're in. And then I just work on this game. No, I haven't seen Fanta in here. Might be for the best. I think the last time I interacted with Fanta, they basically told me like a bunch of horrible things. Like, and then I was like, wow, okay, I haven't talked to you for like a year or two. I don't need this in my life. Goodbye. So probably for the best. It's a shame how that whole thing ended up, but who knows how things move forward. No, they were pretty cool until things didn't work out at the end. They were pretty cool. But when things ended, everyone, it got like real mean. Not, I wasn't trying to be mean to anybody, but it got real mean. But yeah, I was like, yo guys, I'm a dad. I don't have time for this stuff. I don't have time for Twitch drama, guys. But yeah, so anyway, we're back here. Thanks for the 30th stream. Congrats. Yeah. You know who I actually would love to talk to again is Zoyana. I miss Zoyana so much. We made that song together. Do you guys remember that song? Oh my god, I can't remember the word. Astrophysia, I can't remember the word. Yeah, it's true. It was like, yeah. Yeah. Like, what was it? Hold on, let me look it up real quick. Alexithymia. That's what it was. Oh, that song was so good. I still listen to that song. But I miss Zoyana a lot. I feel like, man, that was the major bummer because she was just amazing at singing and writing and all kinds of stuff. It's so cool. Oh yeah, Corey. Yeah. I know, it's a bummer. It's such a bummer how that all ended up. I feel like I learned a lot though. You know what I learned? I learned that like when you're running into trying to be a Twitch streamer or like I think it's specifically for Twitch streaming, honestly, that when you're Twitch streaming, and this is the reason why I feel like YouTube is definitely more my vibe. Twitch streaming feels like, I don't know how to say this, but it feels like you're constantly being challenged for the control that you have over the things you want to do. And so when I would be streaming, it was really challenging because I felt like I needed to get people's attention, even though I didn't always make my stream about that. I think you guys know that, but you can't help it when you're on Twitch. But then there's a part of it where you feel like you start building this community and some people in the community start to want to have control over certain things. And I don't think I knew how much that would play a factor into just pressing the live button, but it really did. Like, and towards the end, I feel like it's actually what became, when I think of streaming, it became managing people's expectations who were mods or in the community and they wanted things done or they wanted this done or that had to be this certain way or we should do it this way. And I'm not saying that that's wrong. I think that that's just how Twitch works. But for me, I felt like when I got to the end of it, I think it was a good thing that it ended because I don't think that would have ended any other way. Because I'm not the type of person to like come down hard on people or tell people this is my show, this is what I'm doing. But I feel like with YouTube, it's different. I don't know why, but on Twitch, it feels like you're fighting for control of things. And then on YouTube, it feels like I feel comfortable. Like this is, I don't have to do 100 billion different little circus things to keep people's attention. People like the stream, they like the stream. You know what I'm saying? What ended? What was the project that ended? I forget what it was, but it was more like just the little things, you know? Yeah, Twitch does. Twitch just, you know, Blush, just like you were saying with Roblox, you get bad vibes from Roblox. It's kind of the same thing for me for Twitch. I feel like just Twitch just is kind of like a place where they're making people feel desperate to try and get more money. Twitch just wants money to give it to Amazon, right? I mean, that's like the thing. And so it constantly felt like I could feel that, you know, it's just like really intense pressure. But this is great. I hope you like the stream, Blush, and I hope you enjoy it. This is a much different stream. It's a lot slower paced. It's a lot more chill. It's this every day. I mean, it's just working on this card game every day. It's a lot of really deep game design, which I don't think a lot of people cover. It's like the real nuts and bolts of how to make a game, a set of rules that can support a lot of really interesting critical thinking and strategies. So this game it started out as a physical game. So, you know, like with real cards. And when we took it for people to play it, like I said, they really loved it, but they wanted it to be more cards. And so then over the summer, last summer, we did that. We made over 200 cards. And then the game became almost impossible for me to play test and balance, because if I wanted to make a change, I'd have to get a permanent marker and stickers, and then stickers on top of stickers. And then we wanted to reprint, and then reprinting meant we had to like actually combine all the changes and then print them again, and the costs. You can see this was like, nobody wants to make a game in this environment, right? This is like, I'm doing everything except making a game. And then because of the amount of work and money, it would mean that every change that I make, I'm thinking in the back of my head, do we have to, is this change worth it? Because now I'm gonna have to get a sticker and all stuff. So I remembered this little platform called Tabletop Simulator. And if you're not familiar with it, it's pretty amazing. You can play any game on here: chess, checkers, solitaire, poker, whatever. And there are no rules. Like, you can literally just take cards and just fling them. You can knock things over. It's just like a basic card physics engine. And so I kind of thought maybe if I bring it over here, you know, it would take time to set up, but I would actually be able to play test this a lot faster. And I was right. So the play testing on this has been exceptional. I can do things here that would take me so long. No, we took it to PAX Unplugged. Have you ever heard of PAX? I'm hoping that we're going to be there at PAX Unplugged this coming year, which isn't until November, or December. But it's a convention. They don't have any pictures up here, but it's all tabletop games. So hoping to be there. This year it was, yeah, December. Oh no, it's coming up December 4th and 5th. Okay, so that's good. Now I know. Thanks, Blush. Said, wow, love the cards. Yeah, the artist usually pops in here. James might be watching, lurking. James did all the artwork. We worked together on it. You know, I had a very specific idea for a style, and James and I worked so well together. We did Space Friends together. We just, like, I have an idea, James does a concept, I think it's amazing, I add my 2 cents, he goes and makes it again, and then we end up with this thing that, like, we're both kind of just like making, right? So is the plan to keep it here, develop the game here to turn into a real game? Yeah, so the plan is to always keep it a physical game, because I really, really, really want to make a physical game. I don't want it to feel like, oh, and then you drag a card and then it does stuff that only a computer could do. So the one constraint is everything has to work as if it was a real physical game, so that when I go to print it, I can, and people can play it on their tables. That said, I am planning to make a digital version of this, probably on Steam and mobile, so that people can play it and enjoy it just by clicking and doing stuff. So it's going to be a long journey. Like, I'm not going to lie. This isn't a game that I'm going to say, we're almost done, it's going to launch in a couple of weeks. This is going to be like the long haul. Like, I'm just going to work on this every single day, just make this game something so special. I want to make a diamond, you know? I've made quick hits like Pop the Lock, and I've done Roblox things that popped off really quick. I want to make something that lasts, you know, something that people really just feel like, wow, you know, like they can feel the depth of thought and quality and craftsmanship that went into it. Thanks, Blush. Thank you so much. Okay, well, why don't I do some of what we do here on stream, Blush, so you can see what it's like. And by the way, feel free to throw in your ideas. Everyone always jumps in and has ideas here. As you know, this is a collaborative stream, and I'm trying to create a place on social media where people can do, where you come and you feel like when you left, you actually learned something, thought about things, were inspired to be more creative. This is not a stream where I'm trying to collect viewers just so I can get rich. I want to give back. I want to provide value. So, you know, I'm working on the game, but hopefully it inspires you to think about things in a new way. All right, so as I was mentioning, Cottonmouth is the sorcerer that we are working on. I'll just do a quick recap, Blush, since you hopped on, how magic works. Magic is very different in this game. You know, most games you can just cast spells and magic is just like blah, blah, blah. You just do like Harry Potter. You say the word, you wave your wand, done, right? In this world, magic is very scarce. And the magicians, the sorcerers as we call them in this world, they have to manage a resource to be able to do magic. So they all come with their own spell books, and these are souls. So what happens is they use souls to fire off magical spells. And that means they have to get the souls from somewhere. So Cottonmouth, for instance, starts with one soul. And on Cottonmouth's turn, we could do Vial of Acid, which is to apply one poison, and it costs one soul, which means we flip it over, and then at the next turn it resets. If we burn a soul, though, we lose it. And the only way to get more souls is for Cottonmouth to be the last one to hit a creature that has a soul. So she has to kill the spider on its final blow so that she can extract the soul. And then she would get 2 souls. So that's kind of how like your magic works. And Cottonmouth is, you can kind of guess here, Murkmire alchemy, very like swampy, like not like a wizard in a high castle, more of like a, you know, just like foraging in the forest, putting berries together, mixing together like, you know, like mushrooms and sticks and leaves, and then makes some kind of weird thing and puts like slug blood on it, like real gross kind of way. I think gross is definitely a way that James would probably agree. Part of Cottonmouth is just gross, questionable, mysterious. Like they have this thing where they have leeches, and then leeches can create swamp juice, which then swamp juice can heal other heroes. So Cottonmouth has their own thing going on. Raymond's here. Raymond Blushsoft is here. You're already streaming? I just woke up. Was up till 3. Me too. Me too. Yo, it was so warm here last night. I don't even know how to explain it, guys. It was 68 degrees last night, which doesn't sound warm, but we have like a monitor in the kids' room and it said it was 78. I woke up in the middle of the night. I thought something was wrong with me. I was like, I had to ask Kathy Wow, wifey Wow. I had to be like, yo, are you hot? Because I'm like sweating. And she was like, no, it's really hot. And then I just watched Fantastic Four for about an hour. Which, like, you know, Fantastic Four. What do you expect? You had your fan on all night? That's a good idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that. We did turn the ceiling fan on in the morning, though. But I should have turned it on last night. All right, so Cottonmouth. Let's try and get this. The idea for poison now. If Cottonmouth were to do this, we would flip over one of these. We're going to apply one poison to a creature and any creatures next to the target. So let's just move this out of the way. We're just doing some like dummy rounds here. So let's just say this is how things were set up. Raymond, since you just joined, I'm thinking that the way that poison is going to work is that poison is actually going to counter armor on creatures. So it will do 1 damage. This would do 1 damage at the end of the turn, but it would also negate this for all other heroes trying to attack, which we don't have that. And I think it feels pretty cool. I think that will make poison pretty unique. Although we don't have a lot of these heroes or creatures that have armor, we're going to have a lot more of them. Oh, it's not very warm in the UK. Yeah, I mean, look, it is nice. Like today is beautiful out. But boy, last night was like super rough. All right, so what we would do with Cottonmouth is we flip over the soul token. We go to roll. As long as we hit it, we get it. And so this would apply 1 token of poison to the spider and then 1 poison to any creatures next to the target. So this would put them right there. So that would give 2 poison to each of them, which is now going to do 2 damage per turn. What is poison versus toxin? I don't think. Oh, what? I think toxic is just a type of creature. Let me see if I can find it. That one's undead. That one's arachnid. Arachnid. I think toxic is a type of creature. Yeah, there you go. Sulker. It's just a way of splitting up the creatures so we can do effects to them. Like probably the arachnids and the toxics, you won't be able to poison them. Maybe spiders, you could still poison them. I don't know. But so for instance, like if this creature was here, right? So if we move the spider away and we put this guy here, and let's say Cottonmouth tried to hit the deranged guard, it would hit the deranged guard, and then you wouldn't be able to put it on the sulker, so the sulker doesn't get poisoned. Oh, you mean like the meaning? That's a good question. I don't know. What is the difference? Toxins are poisonous substances produced by living organisms like plants, bacteria, and animals. Poisons are a broader category of harmful substances, natural or synthetic. Wow, that's cool. I didn't know that. All toxins are poisons, but not all poisons are toxins. All right. Well, you learned something new. There you go. Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense too. Yeah, I think so, Raymond. Yeah, I think bypassing the armor makes sense, because then, you know, if they hit it now with the one token on here, it negates the armor. So instead of, if Rowan did a 2 attack with the crossbow, instead of it only doing 2 damage minus 1 because of the armor, now you'd get to do the full 2 damage because the toxin negates it, which I think is pretty cool. This just changed my entire world. Yeah, I actually never knew that, but then that is exactly how we used it. Poison is something that's like a created thing, and then these guys are toxic, toxic type, which is more biological. Okay, this makes sense to me. Now, I had a huge breakthrough this morning, and I texted James, the artist, and I was like, oh my God, I think I know what we're gonna do with Cottonmouth as an additional card. And I told him, and he had the same idea. He's like, when I was watching the stream yesterday, I thought about it. So look, when you get to level 2 of the spell list here, egad, wait a second. It's right here. Let's pull it back out. That was from yesterday. I must have redone that and not kept it. Let's look at the original one here. There's this spell, and this spell is called Tot the Big Leech. So the idea is that Cottonmouth has this leech that is like their pet, and you do 2 damage. And we already talked about this spell yesterday. This spell needs work. We know that, but it doesn't make sense. You roll and you add their magic, and if it's a 6 or better, blah, 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 blah. These are old rules. But what isn't old is what a lovely spell name. Yeah, it's great, right? Murkmire Academy and the Corrosive Murk and all this. My favorite blush is that this probably is going to change just from what I know of this game so far, because it's probably not very fun. But the idea was, if you use Tot the Big Leech one turn, the next turn you can make Warm Swamp Juice, which, if the last successful spell was Tot the Big Leech, you do +3 health to a hero. So they're supposed to be a healer class, but this Tot the Big Leech, I was making my tea this morning, and I just thought, I was like, what do we give Tot the Big Leech? Because you guys know we gave Lady Lyria a tea set, which is one of my favorite cards. We gave Ashmar the torch. We kind of have a thing going on here where we give these guys like items that are very much about their personality, and I feel like one of them has to be Tot the Big Leech. So I'm thinking we go ahead and we make a card here. Let's see if we can just make one and test it out, which is the leech itself. Did I get the K-pop Demon Hunters McDonald's meal yet? No. It's a real thing? Honestly, I thought you AI generated that. I thought that was an AI generated McDonald's. It sounds so detailed. I love it. It is. It's super detailed. I would love to show you this card too. The Lyrian tea set. Oh, it's hilarious. I didn't save this. Dear God, man, I didn't save this, or maybe I did. I don't know. I don't remember. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's make a Tot the Big Leech. And let's just see here. I mean, yes, I'm gonna get it now. It's like $11 per meal, but worth. Furry's here. Welcome, Furry. Let's do Tot the Big Leech. I don't think you can sell it. It's not sellable, so we can just get rid of that for real. You're gone. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, we can't? Okay, we have to actually delete it. We don't have art for this today, but I'm sure James has ideas already on what to make for Tot the Big Leech, which is going to be exciting. You feel like you haven't been here in so long that you don't even remember AI being a big thing. Yeah, it's every day. Every day it's changing and changing. This game in particular, James and I have made a blood pact not to use AI at all in this project. Which I'm like, yes, I totally agree with all of that. And it's actually been really exciting to think about making a game that's like quote unquote organic. Made of organic game design ideas and art. So that's been really fun to kind of like think about. Okay, we have Tot the Big Leech. What is Tot the Big Leech gonna do? The reason I want to make it an item card, these are item cards. I don't want to give Tot the Big Leech like a heart. What am I trying to say? Words escape me. I'm not trying to make this an actual thing that can be killed. I do not want Tot the Big Leech to be killed, actually. But what I do want Tot the Big Leech to do is basically be like a sulker. So on your turn, you can throw the leech and exhaust it onto a creature, and that creature is now bleeding because of it. And maybe as long as you're doing that, it maintains a blood token on it or something. But that's kind of what I'm thinking we're going to do with this, because the fun thing about this is it actually means Cottonmouth could target like 2 different creatures, right? So we could have it like this, and then we could do on your turn, do Tot the Big Leech as an instant action, and Tot the Big Leech like lashes onto the deranged guard. The deranged guard is now bleeding, and then Cottonmouth could do Vial of Acid, you know, like we've been talking about, flips it and does the Vial of Acid on the undead guard and on the deranged guard. Something like that. Raymond said, AI in game design, when doing full, has so many continuity bugs. You have to always fix them since they are things that connect. AI doesn't think about this. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's one of the things that's really challenging. I've been working on the sleep app, guys, and like it's a testament to it. It's like really helpful, but I wouldn't say it makes things faster yet. I don't know. No, that's not true. That's not true. It's not true. It is faster. It is faster, but you still have to work. You still have to put in a lot of work to get it to do what you want it to do. It's just not the one switch flip, you know, turn on the lights kind of deal that everyone says it is. Yeah, exactly. Like AI platforms like Lemonade are useful. Like I can make a visualizer for my Bezier curve instead of coding it. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so how do we write this up? The rules for this are, the rules for Tot the Big Leech are turn. Well, we don't have, how about we just do, I choose you. I choose you. These are not final. This is not final text, but I think it's why not? I choose you, Tot. Tot. I think it needs to have a comma there. Tot, the big leech. And the rules are exhaust this card and select and choose a target while this card is exhausted. Place add bleed token. Yeah? Does that work? Does that sound right? I think so. Exhaust this card. We can do this actually. Choose a target while this card is exhausted. Add bleed token. Is that enough? I don't think so. I think we're going to come back to this and find out that Tot the Big Leech needs two things. I'm willing to try it though. I'm willing to just give it a shot. Let's just go with it. You know how I could get really stuck on this. You know what I mean? I could get really stuck on the details without testing it. And I feel like, you know what? I've been down this path before, guys. Let's just throw it in the game. Blush, you can now see why this thing is so powerful. Tot the Big Leech. Watch this. I just saved that card. I'm going to come over here and I just need to make sure I get one of these. I'm going to clone this card and drop it. And then I have to go to my favorite website, Imgur. Imgard. Let's do packs unplugged here. And what I can do is I can go right to Imgur, make a new post. We add the card. It's in there. And now I copy the address, come back here, and then I can go ahead and I can just change that card. So you can kind of see now we have Tot the Big Leech. We don't have art for it, but James will make the art. James will make the art. This is why this platform is just, I just love it. I just love it. Cameron! Oh my gosh. Cameron's here, everybody. Cameron's here. Welcome, Cameron. Welcome. Cameron, I have ideas. I thought long and hard yesterday and I came up with some ideas. The way that poison is going to work, at least for now, to test it, is it will do 1 damage at the end of the turn, but poison negates, each poison token negates 1 point of armor on a creature. So this way, as we've talked about before, magic damage can cut through armor, no problem. But I thought about this. It still doesn't mean that your heroes can actually attack. So only your sorcerer can actually hit without deducting damage when they hit because of armor. And then I was thinking, you know what? What if poison negates this? Because eventually I'm going to want to do something where I have like, you know, a 6 health or a 10 health with 3 armor. And it's like, you know, none of these could break through that at all. But if you have someone on your team, I mean, obviously these will do more damage as you go through the map, right? You get better loot, but this would be like, you could actually use poison to negate, which is pretty cool. Super nitpicky. It sounds more like acid to me. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. I was thinking about this. I thought about this because it does seem like you could initially, and feel free to push back on me on this. I would love to hear counterpoints on this, but I feel like poison though, if you could throw the acid, right, which is exactly what Cottonmouth does, vial of acid, sizzles, burns the armor. But if it was something like a gas or something like that, I would say that I could narratively make the leap that the gas makes them vulnerable to where their armor is not helping them. They're not like holding up their shield, or maybe they're like coughing and like, you know, like having trouble, and then opens them up that you could attack them now with their armor. Yeah. So in a sense, the vial of acid is almost like not, I would argue that the vial of acid does not burn the armor down. It actually like sprays on them, and then they're freaking out, and then that allows them to attack. I mean, I think I can buy into that. Like, Cottonmouth currently is the only one who has this. But like, for instance, if we had a crossbow and a crossbow had poison on it, and you did 2 damage, right? This is good. This is really good. Let's figure this out. If we had a crossbow that did 1 damage and a poison, 2 damage and a poison, let's just leave it at that. If you did 1 damage and a poison on this guy, then you would do no damage, but you would cause poison. I'm not so happy about that. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not so happy about that. I do like the idea that on a 2 damage, you only get to do 1 point of damage because there is an armor, and then you leave poison. So the guy gets hit, he's got poison in him, he's like, blah, and then it knocks his armor from being effective. Maybe that's the difference. It makes armor non-effective. I don't know. Maybe, am I stretching, guys? Am I stretching? I don't feel like I'm stretching too far. I mean, I think it is a little bit of a stretch, but I feel like there's room here. If you threw like a gas bomb at them, then the gas bomb would cause poison damage to them, but also knock them off their game in a way that leaves them open to vulnerability in a way that only poison can do. Do I really believe that? I believe that. It's not too far a stretch, no. All right. All right, Cameron. I don't think it is. I know it is a little bit of a stretch, but I also think it's a little bit of a stretch because we only have one thing that uses poison right now. So it's very hard to imagine anything else, but I think we can get there. I also think even if we don't do this with poison, this has to be done at some point. Something has to carry that weight where we can actually knock off armor. Frey said, I just had a funny thought since it's April Fool's. What if this was just a green screen and AI, and then the AI just states before you punch a hole where the head is and peek inside with a smile? Hello. I should have done April Fool's joke. I should have done one. Yo, I taught Baby Wow to do, well, he's not a baby anymore, he's 5. But I taught him how to do April Fool's jokes this morning, and he got me in like 2 seconds. I don't know if it's because I was up until 4 a.m. and I was just so tired, but I was like, yeah, man, you got to do April Fool's jokes. Like, you know, you tell someone something that's not true, but you want to make it funny for them, like they actually believe it. And he's like, oh, okay. And then I turn around and walk away, and he goes, oh, Dad, my lunch is missing. And I turned around and I was like, what? And he goes, happy April Fools. And I was like, oh my God, get out of here. Get out of here. No, I was actually really proud. I know, Blush. She's 5. I would show you the Minecraft drawings on my desk that he does now. He draws wardens. He really loves wardens now. All right, so Tot the Big Leech. Cameron, I don't know if you saw this, but Tot the Big Leech is from one of these cards. It's the Leech's card. When you flip it over, there's a Tot the Big Leech, and I was kind of like, oh, we got to make a Tot the Big Leech. But instead of it being a creature that has a health that can be defeated, it's actually an item card that almost 6, 7. And so Tot the Big Leech is going to be a card that you can use. There's no art on it right now. And I'm thinking the way this will work is we're going to try and get it to be you can turn the leech on your turn. The current rule is exhaust this card, choose a target. While this card is exhausted, add a bleed token. So Tot the Big Leech is doing that. What I would like to do, I don't know how we're going to get there, guys. I don't know how we're going to get there, but I would like the leech to work exactly the same as the sulker, which is basically a leech. That on the first attack, it does 1 damage and then apply a bleed token, and then every turn heal for 1. So what I would like to do is probably have something on here that's... I don't want it to be like, I don't want it to be that Cottonmouth heals up. I want it to be, oh my God, I think I know. I think I know. I think I know. What if we have an empty jar, and as long as Tot the Big Leech is like latched on to a creature and bleeding it, you, whenever the creature takes 1 damage from bleeding damage from Tot the Big Leech, you add 1 point of health into this jar that then Cottonmouth can use at any time on someone. This is pretty cool. This is the April Fool's joke that it's pre-recorded and I knew what I would say. Yeah, I should have done an AI one. I should have done, actually, Furry's got it. I missed the opportunity. I needed to do an AI stream that runs for like, well, you can't, you can only do 8 seconds, right? But that would have been hilarious to do an AI stream. And then I just dropped the mask completely. So this is kind of fun though. Tot the Big Leech does damage, leeches off of them, and fills up the health. There's a couple things that pop up for me with this that are problematic. One of them is like doing 1 bleed token over time. I feel like Tot needs a dog collar. He's a pet. Let me tell you, I cannot wait to see what James draws for Tot the Big Leech. James has drawn some of the like just most amazing little characters all the time. When we did Space Friends, I had this idea of making a little alien pet, and James and I worked on it together. And I don't know if you guys remember, but it turned into, what is it? Oh, there it is. This little guy, you can barely see him, but he's so cute. He was like an alien with 3 little legs. Like he was supposed to be like your traditional alien, your Roswell, New Mexico alien, but he was so cute, and we made pins out of it. Those were the days, guys. Those were the days. Tot needs to be super cute. Tot needs to be some kind of creature that I want as an enamel pin, and I want to carry it around everywhere. For the first time ever, I put too much honey in my tea. And you know what? I knew it. I knew it, but I was kind of like, I need this because I didn't sleep last night. I like this idea. Let's talk game design wise. Here's a problem. One problem is being able to fill this up just without a choice. It just feels like, as we've talked about before, when the game doesn't give you a choice or the choice isn't interesting, it's kind of like yawn. So the problem with this card, and I've seen this in this game come up over and over and over again, is that if we make Tot the Big Leech work like this, your first turn, you're going to be like, every single time, you're going to be like Tot the Big Leech, and then put the poison token or put the bleeding token on it. And then at the end of the turn, I add 1 for the health. And then you'll just fill this up and just keep healing people. There's no risk. This isn't a high stakes thing. So we got to figure out, we got to figure out how to make this risky. You don't want to do it all the time. You want to only do it at certain points. Maybe that means Tot the Big Leech does need to be a creature with health. So you're navigating Tot the Big Leech, you know, like healing Tot the Big Leech and making sure Tot doesn't die. Kind of feels like the only way around this. I really didn't want to do that. But I feel like we might have to. I do need some tea for that, honey. I feel like that's the only way around this. Tot the Big Leech has to kind of have... Please do that next time you can, especially when you make it big. Would be such a callback. Okay. If they have it where I can do an AI stream, I will. I think that like making Tot the Big... So the way this maybe works is when Tot the Big Leech does go on a creature... I was going to say if that creature would hit Cottonmouth, instead hit Tot the Big Leech. Almost like I throw Tot the Big Leech onto the deranged guard, but if the deranged guard is going to attack Cottonmouth, instead it will attack Tot the Big Leech. Like almost like it's fighting Tot the Big Leech if Tot is fighting them. I love this idea of a jar, by the way. I feel like this jar idea, this empty jar, I don't know what to say about this, but I feel like this is my brain is going like a mile a minute on this, because if it's an empty jar, you could fill it with like blood. Maybe there's recipes, blood and poison. Right? And you could put like, you could cook it. This is crazy. Is this really happening? Could you really do this where you have recipes for the jar? You have to, but like how does this work? How does this work? This is wild though. Tot the Big Leech, and then you get a jar. And this is so Cottonmouth too. I can't even tell you. This is how you make swamp juice. Poison, blood, and you cook it. And then you make warm swamp juice. I feel like it's happening. I'm not really sure how these all connect though. Like, how does Cottonmouth collect poison? Or does somebody have to poison the jar? Like, Tot the Big Leech can collect blood. My brain's like swimming right now with this idea that this jar has... Your PC case just broke? What? 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 Because it was hot? That looks like it broke because it was hot, or did you kick it? What happened? It just broke? That sounds like heating. Whoa. Refund? Dang, dude. Oh my God. It's a good one. I don't know why, but I fall for April Fools every single time. This is a good one. God damn. God damn, that was a good one. That was a real good one. That's good. Check your RAM, it might not be there. That's what Furry said. Is that really AI? Did you get AI to take your picture of your computer and then smash it? Because that looks like the picture of your computer. That's hilarious. I wish I did a good April Fool's, but I feel like I missed it. I like take it too far and like fake my death. You guys are like, that's not cool. That's not cool. And I'm like, well, they were pressuring me. Okay, I had to go somewhere dark because I didn't have an April Fool's joke. And Raymond already did the broken computer thing. There's still time. All right, I'm gonna try and think of one. They're so corny though. It's like what do you add a token? You add a token that's like silly or ridiculous. All right, let's try and figure this out. The elixir kit is gonna be, I think we can at least just put some anchored points down here. And I think the anchor points we have here are, we know that Tot collects blood. So I'm gonna change this card because I don't think it's getting, it can't be healing potion. The reason I'm going this direction is like, if you just take a point of health and put it on here, you're gonna have so much health. Every battle, you're gonna have like 5 health to just dump on someone. So we gotta put in what I call a wedge, which is like, we don't want the health going directly into the jar from Tot the Big Leech, even if that's how this mechanic is gonna go, which who knows what can happen. But what we really want to happen is Tot the Big Leech puts something in the pot, and it's one part of what we need to make a health potion. That way we can like control how many health potions are coming out of this kind of system that I'm literally just making up on the fly. But I can already tell you just like right off the bat, we just cannot have like a battle that ends with a jar full of 5 health because you just turned a card like that. Not gonna do it. Oh, but I think I do have an idea. Maybe you pretend your window broke. Just do a magic trick where you appear out of nowhere after your body was in the casket and lowered down. Oh no. Yeah, what's like, I don't know. Can I do one? I always want to do April Fools and then I never have it. I'm like, what would mine be? Oh, just kidding. I didn't put too much honey in my tea. April Fools. That's when someone in chat goes, no, but there is too much honey in your tea. And I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. I tried. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I have this idea. What if Tot the Big Leech, exhaust this card, choose a target, while exhausted, add bleed token. Add a bleed token. Okay. I'm gonna go with this. I think we're getting somewhere. Like, you can prank your wife like, I broke the couch. Yeah. We don't need to redo this card. This card's already doing well. You're okay, card. You don't need a glow up. You're fine. We're gonna come back here and we're gonna do empty. Now we're gonna say it's not an empty jar. It's like an alchemy kit. So it's like a alchemy kit, and the alchemy kit is going to have recipes. So the recipe, we're just gonna make one of them. Again, I'm just making this up, guys. I don't know where we're going with this. I don't know how this is gonna end, but it's feeling right. So a recipe would be if recipe for warm swamp juice. And then down here, we're going to be like, if this card has one blood, one poison, one fire token, summon warm swamp juice. This is problems with it, but I could go with this. Really? I like, yeah, Gemini is pretty, Gemini is pretty wild. I don't know if I told you this. Did I tell you guys about the sleep app? I mean, I told you about the sleep app, but did I tell you about how I got it to, like, I don't know if I told you about this, but on the sleep app, this is just a small, we're just gonna take a little segue here because the sleep app is almost done. Very excited about it. I cannot wait to share it with you guys. It's going to come out for iOS and Android. But one of the things that I did is I wanted, it's called Scroll to Sleep. And the idea was you get people off of social media at night, but they're still scrolling. You want to scroll. So you scroll on something like chill. And one of the ideas was that in this app, there's a fake Facebook app called Sheep Book. And it's because you count sheep. And it's just these sheep going, like, falling, doing stuff before they go to bed, right? So you really feel like, oh, cute, like you're just scrolling on them. But here's the thing. It was really tricky to get it to make first of all, a unique character that didn't look like, because of course it's AI, right? So it's going to look like everybody else's characters. So what I did, I couldn't get it to lock in. So let me see. So here's what I did. I went into Blender. This was over the weekend I did this. I did like a 22 hours over the weekend, basically, to try and finish this app. And I modeled this little guy. Let me see. Do I even have him here? I probably do. Oh, no, not this Blender. Not the old Blender. Why? Why do you do the old Blender? I was doing this over the weekend. I did. I photoshopped it out. These are old. But I made this little guy. Oh, also, let me just tell you how frustrated I am. I made this using a geometry node, which basically means it like generates it randomly. And then I baked it, which if you use Blender, you know, like, damn it. Why did I do that? Because once you bake it, you can't randomly generate it again. And what I should have done is duplicated the sheep so that then I could keep one base and then I could start generating other sheep with like different, you know, different hairstyles. Anyway, I made this sheep over the weekend and I was like, okay, let's see. I took a picture front, side, back, and then I brought it into Gemini. And I used the front, back, side, and then I was able to generate all these little videos, or not videos, but little images. You guys are gonna love it. It's really cute. It's a sleep app. It's like all about helping people get off of social media. But yeah, it was pretty cool to see how well it works. You say sheep butt, yeah. An issue that I always have is that it's easier to just scroll down on the app you're already on. Well, you're gonna try this one out. It's called Scroll to Sleep. You can try it right now. It's actually on the App Store. it's just in a state that hasn't been updated in 6 years. That's why I've been working on it. Let me see, scroll to sleep. You can see what it actually looks like. This is the thing, I made this game 6 years ago. It's not a game. I made this app 6 years ago. And all through pandemic, I would just check in on it and people were downloading it and they were leaving reviews. It's got 129 reviews, 4.5. These reviews, and they're not like little reviews. They're like, people write like a lot. Like, I've always had trouble sleeping, could never fall asleep. Like, use this app in desperation 3 days in a row and I've successfully fallen asleep each time. So when I asked ChatGPT, hey, what can I do to make some like money? Like, sadly, I'm kind of in that predicament right now. I gave it all my projects and where I was at with all of them. And ChatGPT was like, hi, dum-dum, why don't you just finish Scroll to Sleep and put in a subscription model, which I'm going to be doing. Will people be mad at the AI art? That's a good question, Raymond. Here's where I'm at with it. AI is here to stay. So in my view, it's about learning how to use AI in a way that is authentic to me, right? So I think if I was making up the character in Gemini, like the little character, I didn't model it myself, I think that's a poor use of AI. If you're just throwing something in a microwave and being like, hey, just make me something and that's it, I don't care, I think that's problematic. I think that you have to give, I think of AI as an assistant. My whole views on this, I'm not going to go on a whole rant. I think that Star Trek got it right. In Star Trek, they do have an AI. It's called the ship's computer. And the ship's computer doesn't replace people, it assists them. So my feeling about it is a lot of people are thinking AI is going to just be this one button press and we're all going to just like, that's it, no more creativity. I think it's the opposite. I think everyone's going to know what AI looks like. And it's only going to mean that things that are more unique or personalized or authentic are going to stand out. Now, do I think some people will look at that and be like, oh, wow, well, you just like basically like put a sheep in there and then it generated these things? Yes, but also I'm kind of using it because I don't want people to pay attention to it. I'm not trying to say this is the greatest art ever made. I'm not trying to say that this is the most unique art ever made. I'm just making some 3D backgrounds and using the character I made to build out multiple backgrounds that I couldn't use. I think that's a good thing. Do I think people will be upset about it? It's a good question. I don't know. I really don't. I am going to let people know in the app this art was generated using AI. You know, you can see my process here, how I made it. I don't know. We'll see. Kurt, I don't give a shit. Be mad. You should figure out how to make people sleepy with everything like sound, visual, soothing, proofing, etc. You'll see when the app drops, you'll see it's got a lot of really great stuff in there. Okay, let's see if we can finish this up. Oh shoot, I have to go do contract work in like 6 minutes. I have to go to a contract meeting. Okay, so recipe: warm swamp juice. I think eventually I can make these look a little better. So for instance, like we'll just do a quick one here. This isn't going to be final, but if I grab this and then I come back to Le Shops of Photo and we drop it in here, I think we could kind of like, maybe, just maybe we could go with something where we do this guy and we use this and this and this and this and this and this, and we can delete it and then move it up. I don't know if I should spend my time doing this right now. This feels like a waste of time. Like I should just like leave it as text, it feels like, but okay, why not? We're doing it. We're all in, guys. Boucle up, we're all in. Oh, now I'm just making, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm getting impatient. I'm getting so impatient. We're not gonna do that right now. Yeah, that's right. I'm telling you, it really works. I mean, look, I'm not going to say with an asterisk, right? It really works for me. That's why I made it. I made it 6 years ago because I wanted something to scroll on in bed that would help me fall asleep. And then I just left it there for 6 years and it gets 1,700 downloads every month. I have no idea why, other than it just works, I guess, for some people, and it does pretty well. So I'm not going to change anything that's already in there, by the way, too. So everything in the subscription model is all extra. It's got like 4 new scenes, including the sheep one. Recipe, warm swamp juice. If this card has 1 blood, 1 poison, 1 fire token, summon warm swamp juice. All right, we're just going to save this because I'm not really sure. I think we made some pretty good progress, but I'm not really sure. Alchemy kit. I'm not really sure where I have to like sit on this because I'm not really sure where I'm going with it yet. Let's go ahead and copy this card. And then let's go back to Imgur. And then we'll update this card. And then let's go ahead and copy the image address and then drop it in. And then we can, let's just, for right now, let's just get rid of this and put this right here. Okay. So that's what we're working with right now. Something to the effect of you use Tot the Big Leech, and I think what will happen is something where these 2 cards are connected, where it's like if Tot the Big Leech is like leeched onto this deranged guard, if the deranged guard has poison, fire, or blood, you can take one and put it, I don't know. No, I don't know. Okay, I think I know what to do here. I don't think Tot the Big Leech dumps things into the empty alchemy kit. I think, I'm just going to make one last little change here before we wrap up. I think the alchemy kit allows you to take things off of dead creatures. I think that's what happens. So mind if I don't know, maybe like I don't know what to, how do you search YouTube lives? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I've kind of run into this, Blush, because I don't think my videos go into the same kind of like feed that the regular videos go into. I'm not sure about this, but I feel like based on what people tell me of YouTube, like I haven't been hitting like big community numbers yet, even with like streaming like 30 times almost in a row. Which like I don't really pay attention to the numbers, but I do want to make sure that this is building a community. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the live is like they like put it under the like real videos, you know, and it's like, meh, okay, well, we're not gonna like send these to people's algorithms because they don't want to watch like a live stream, which I'm okay with. It's all right. I think I'm gonna do a supercut eventually of all 30 days or maybe 50 days. When I get to 50 days, I'll do a supercut and upload that as an actual video. Oh shoot, it's 12:30. Okay, I got to do this real quick and then we got to go. The alchemy kit, I'm just going to say I'll take that. We'll change that flavor text later, but the way this is going to work is take 1 status token from any creature this encounter and place on this card. So I think we do this where we can go ahead and have it such that when a creature dies, that's when Cottonmouth gets to pick up something from one of them. Let's see if we just play this through one time before I hop off. So we come back here, we grab the alchemy kit. Let's just fix up the alchemy kit now. Thanks, Furry. We're almost there. We're almost there. So the idea would be now, let's leave Tot the Big Leech off to the side. I'll take that means if we finished this whole game, this whole battle, I'm not really sure how we'll maintain like who has what, but let's just say we beat this whole thing. Let's just pretend these guys aren't here. Oh, that's right. These were all the cocoons or whatever. After you beat them, Cottonmouth can take one of the items from them and place it in the alchemy kit. And then the alchemy kit has recipes that will allow them to do stuff. Wow. Pretty cool. I feel like we took big steps here. I love the alchemy kit. This could be really fun, where you're literally collecting tokens after creatures die at the end of a battle, and then building up little recipes and then getting a warm swamp juice, which lets you, heal up or do other stuff. Hey, thanks, Blush. This has been really interesting. Happy I figured out how these live videos. Yeah, we'll be back for one of the next few streams. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Blush. Yeah, guys, this was really great. This community, you guys just never stop showing up, and it means so much to me. Thank you so much, guys. I love just being back here with you guys. And like I said, without this pressure of Twitch, this is the right vibe for this stream. It feels right for me. And I just appreciate you guys being here so much while I just slowly just chip away at this giant statue, right? One day it will be done and it's going to be amazing. And I can't wait for you guys to play it. All right, you guys have a great day. I hope you guys feel inspired. I hope you guys feel excited and interested in the world. Hope you got to use your brains today. And I'll see you guys tomorrow here, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Curtis, wow. Ow.